Okay, everyone, I want to thank you for being patient with me. I've been out for the past 2 weeks. One week I was out with a pretty bad flu, had me bedridden for a couple of days, and also um, once I got over the flu, I was so behind on some of my work that I just haven't had time to get around to making new videos. But I do apologize. I'm back now, and so I'm ready to get into this, and let's get started. Okay, as you know, the Dolphins will be taking on the Buffalo Bills up in upstate New York for a 1 p.m. kickoff. Um, the situation with the Dolphins is not it's not changed really, other than we got injuries with where we're going to be forced to deal with shuffling around our offensive line. Um, we're going to be also we know that Fitzpatrick will be starting over Rosen. Um, and to go into that a little bit, I don't think that it is an indicative permanent change at the starting quarterback position. What I have a sense of is to get Josh Rosen to focus a little bit, and also not to put him in a situation where he can really get injured or get shell shocked by the Buffalo, because the Buffalo Bills have a very good defense, and right now the way Josh has been playing over the past 2 weeks, um, particularly with them holding the ball too long. That is one of the biggest issues that we have, that I see with Josh Rosen. He has a strong arm. He can make great throws, but he holds the ball too long. And that results in a lot of tackles, a lot of sacks, and rush passes um, that he's been experiencing over the last couple of weeks of starting. Um, it will be safe to say that the Dolphins will be drafting a quarterback in the offseason. I don't see Josh Rosen being the starting quarterback for the Dolphins going into next season. If he is, it's only because of whoever we draft during the offseason. We'll probably need some time to adjust to the NFL game, where you don't want to put him out there right away, whoever that may be. Um, but certainly, Josh Rosen at this particular point, I know a lot of people like, well, he's never had a great offensive line, and he's been involved in a lot of different offensive schemes. Look, there's plenty of film out there on Josh Rosen, from college years to 1 year with the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, yeah, with the Arizona Cardinals, and we've had all training camp to see what Josh Rosen is all about. We know what we got with Josh Rosen. At this particular point, there's no. I would say there's no any unanswered questions about Josh Rosen. The only thing that you should be looking for him at this particular time is incremental growth, where he shows improvement. Slow. It don't have to be great improvement, but just show consistent improvements from game to game. And we haven't seen that over the past two starts that he's been involved with. He has not shown any progress in his ability to read defense quickly, and to throw, and the ability also to throw guys open, to throw his receivers open. He put unwanted pressure on himself and the entire offense, because he's not sure of himself. And right now, it's safe to say that at this particular point in Josh Rosen's career, he is not what I would call a starting NFL quarterback. And because of his slow development, you can blame it on a mere situation, but in the end, it is personal responsibility when it comes to showing incremental improvements week in and week out. Just showing the ability to better understand the game of pro football, and Josh Rosen has not shown that. Now, as for this upcoming game with the Buffalo Bills, as you already know, Buffalo is favored by 17 points. Um, I don't see why that should be why anyone should think that the final outcome of this game will be anything different. Um, the Dolphins is just not a very good team. As I often say before, this team is pretty much you have maybe about 16 to 17 NFL starters, and after that, everyone else is just backup and practice practice teams players given the opportunity to play in the NFL, and that's what's on this team. That's why you're going to see guys getting injured more often on this team. You will see um, that as they go deep into their bench, that teams are just going to blow this team out in the fourth quarter. The Dolphins just don't have enough talent. You know, if you take a look at the defense, where there is more talent on the defensive side of the ball than there is on the offense, you can see that that we do have some guys we can reliably say that we can build around. But on offense, yeah, outside of maybe Devontae Parker and Preston Williams, there's nothing on the offensive side of the ball. Maybe, and also Kilgore, who's going to be out this week. After that, there's really nothing that you can really hang your hat on and say, okay, yeah, this we can really develop a team around these core guys. It's just not there, and because of that, the Dolphins will be the worst team in the NFL this year. And I love my Dolphins. I've been a Dolphins since I know myself. You know, I've been around uh, for the during the 1970s, the 80s, and 90s. I've watched this team. I watched the great games we had. I've seen how we could be dominant. I've seen the up and down with this team. And I can tell you this is one of the worst I've seen the state of this football organization in a very long time. Now, I believe it's on the right footing, that it's going to get better, but there is nothing here for anyone to reliably, that knows the game of football, to put their trust and say that, yeah, this team is on the right track. It is not yet. As I said before, because you have to realize that what the Dolphins did during the offseason was take a knee on free agency. So they decided they were in the asset accumulation mode and not talent acquisition mode. They weren't looking for talent. They were looking more to acquire assets for the future. Now, they're no longer in. Now, they have made it known they are transitioning from asset accumulation to talent accumulation, which will begins during the off season. But for right now, this team probably won't win any games. Our best bet was the New York was with to watch the Redskins last week, and I have no problems with Coach Flores going for the extra 2-point conversion at the end of that game. I believe that the odds were in your favor to win at that particular point, meaning that the odds of you getting back into the red zone in an overtime match was not with you. This team just didn't have it. But since you were already in the red zone, technically, for an extra point conversion, why not go for the win? So I have no problem with that. A lot of people question that if you just look at the odds and the probability of winning, that was your best. That was their best probability. That was the best probability they had of winning at that particular point in that game. And unfortunately, the play was just not executed well. It was the receivers did not line up wide enough, and also the drop pass by Drake was not a good thing either. So, you know, even if he now he may have caught it, but at least by catching the ball, you give yourself a chance to break a tackle. But when you don't even catch the ball, you drop it. Oh man, you just don't give yourself a chance to win. And speaking of Drake, there's been rumors that the Dolphins are looking to trade him, and I can understand why, because right at this point you want to get something for Drake, because if he goes into free agency, you're not going to get anything. So And Drake, even though the Dolphins do want to keep him, rumors are that Drake doesn't want to sign an extension, contract extension with this team. So it's pretty clear that he doesn't want to be here, and that's probably why he dropped the pass. He's not focused. He's not committed to this rebuild. And and I think that in this system that the Dolphins are using offensively in the future, a guy like Drake can be very valuable and a big play guy. And Drake is one of those guys who has the ability to make big plays. We know this, but at this particular point in time, I just think that he's ready to move on. So, with that being said, what I'd like to do is talk about now and ending is the merchandise I'll be having coming up soon. Um, as you see, we have this T-shirt, Friends Vault 305. I've got the prints all ready to go. It's on the press. I'll be printing these out very soon, with probably this week, and I'll put it up in the in my next video. I will have it a link down below to allow you to go ahead and look at it. And if you choose to support me and help me out, I do appreciate it. Just purchase this shirt. They should be reasonably priced because I am the one that's producing them and shipping them. And I do appreciate everything that you guys can do to help me out here. But with that being said, once again, I want to thank you for tuning in to Fins Vault 305. My name is Coach T. I want you to have a great evening. And going forward, the videos will be coming out at least once or twice a week. Like I said before, last week, 2 weeks ago, I came out with a very bad flu. I was in the bed for a whole week, and being in the bed like that got me behind on my orders and different things like that. And so I had to use last week to catch back up, and I just didn't have time to put out a video. I appreciate everything you guys done. Hit subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and leave a comment about anything that you want to talk about, and I'll respond. Thank you. Have a great day.